Alright, good afternoon folks. Welcome to a late round of Coffee and Questions. It's later in the afternoon. And so what were we going to talk about today? Well, we're going to talk about, I call them Mig Pliers, and I get mine out at Harbor Freight. So in a short, I guess they are a damn good deal, I think. And so we'll get into an explanation of why. I'll show you what I use them for and how I use them. Here's my little puppet. His name, we'll call him Charlie for right now, because Charlie's like my troll. This is a guy that trolls me all the time and tells me that I'm wrong. Follows me around. I guess he doesn't have anything better to do, but that's okay. So, Charlie, shall we talk about those Mig Pliers? Yeah, let's talk about Mig Pliers. They ain't good. I think you're full of crap. I think you could spend more money and get a better set of Mig Pliers. I mean, what the hell? Why would you want to get them from Harbor Freight? I mean, really? Alright, Charlie, you need to be quiet and go away. So, let's start off with the fact that these are my Mig Pliers. I got them out at Harbor Freight. I've had them probably for a couple of years now. And they're the same ones that you can get out there. It's got a spring in here. Gives you that little spring action. You know, what I do with these is I use a little bit of PB Blaster sometimes. I might put a little smear of Johnson's Paste Wax. Like I told you in my past videos, I use it on pretty much everything. So, what do we like about these? Alright, so the first thing that this thing can do for you, it's got a pair of cutters here. Okay, you can cut your MIG wire with them, or any wire really, but primarily MIG wire. Boom. And you've cut it. Now, here's my MIG gun. Let me show you. Now, I have the Millermatic 211. So, I can sit here before I get ready to weld, and I can go just like this. Oops, I'm sorry. Turn it around here. I can go just like this, and I put it up here. See a good camera view. And clip it, just like that. Now, this will give you the proper distance from the shield out if you use these correctly. A lot of people don't, they just snip it flush. But actually I found if you just go with where the hole is here and you line this thing up like this and then you snip it, it'll give you the perfect distance. So that's one thing that I really like about having these. It's fast and it's easy to cut it to the correct length. Here's another advantage. Now with my MIG gun I can take the shield off of it. So I take the shield off, and so it's filled with all kinds of crud a lot of times. Now I do a couple of things, and I'm not telling you have to do both things. But with these right here, it has, I don't want to say a sharp edge, but it has a nice edge to it. And so what you do is you stick it in the tip, and I just rotate this around a few times just like this. And it's perfectly clean. And then I'm ready to go ahead and put it back on my MIG gun, and I'm ready to go. So it's a very fast and easy thing to use. So what do I like most about these? I like their ease of use. These the grips here, I've heard people complain, well, they're kind of cheapy kind of grips. I don't think so. I mean, I think that they're fine. They feel good in my hand. You know, it's got a little bit of corrugation or knurling here, whatever you want to call it, on these rubber grips. It feels fine in my hand, not a problem at all. Here's the thing. They're about 12 bucks, and I'm going to go inside in a second and I'll do a green screen thing and I'll bring the ad up and I'll do the question and answer part of this, and we'll go through the questions and answers rapidly. But you're looking at $12. So say, well, you know, how much are the other ones? Twice or 3 times more. And they're not going to be that much better quality. They're really not, because I had another pair of them. And I don't know if I lost them or what happened to them, and I went out and I got these, and they are very easily to those other ones, so why spend 2 or 3 times the money? These are $12, assume that you have the coupon, okay? Again, wait till you get that coupon, which is almost all the time, right? They almost always offer you that 20%. And you're going to get them for around 10 bucks. Can't beat this for 10 bucks. I would buy these again, not a problem. And I will when these fail on me. Now, back here, it's got this much bigger groove. Now, there are some MIG guns that are kind of hard to get that shield off of. So what you could do, you could take that bigger part and you can put it right around this shield and pull it off if you're having difficulty. Now, with my Miller-Matic, I don't really have that problem, and I'm not saying it's because it's the Miller-Matic, it's so fantastic, it just doesn't, not something that I need to do because of the way that the shield just slips on there. So, that's another advantage, and another thing that I like about it is you can actually grab something with it, and it'll hold it. So that's another advantage. I really like the idea that you can grab the shield like that, hold it, and pop it right off. I mean, those are things that, you know, when I was looking at this that people don't mention. I mean, they go, oh, look at this nice pair of pliers, but they can't figure out what all the different holes, I'm sorry, I pointed over here. But they're sitting there going, they can't figure out what all these things are for. Like, here's the hole, here's this, and I said, well, what about this little round hole right here? That's if the MIG tip itself is on too tight. Watch. Here's the MIG tip. And let's say you're having trouble getting it off. So there's that little hole. You just set it in there, and then you can twist this, and it's going to loosen this right up, and it'll screw right off, just like that. Not a problem. Okay? So that's what that's for. So that's what that's for. And so people sit and wonder, like they don't understand what all of the things are for that are on these pliers. They just think it's one standard set of pliers. And well, no, it's really not. It has a lot of different uses on here. So I've explained the big hole. We have the spring. Okay. Spring works okay, not a problem. I explained to you about the cutters and how to get, you know, the correct length by lining it up. I explained to you what this little hole's for. You can use the rest of this to grab stuff. And if you look real close, I'll get it up here. See if I can tilt that. You'll see there is a little bit of knurling here or what have you on the very tip. It runs probably about a ½ inch. Now mine's been, you know, beat up pretty bad, but that can hold and grip other things, I mean, that you might be using, you know, during your welding. And I had somebody else you know, in the forum say, well, for their welder these tips were a little too big and a little too blunt. My suggestion to you, not that you have to, grind it down. I mean, you can grind these and feather them and make this into a narrower point, or, you know, you can grind the top and the bottom, and you can grind on this and grind it down, which is what he ended up doing, and then it works perfectly fine. But I don't know what kind of a welder he has or manufacturer of that welder. Not important, but you can modify this tool. Okay, you can modify it to work for your MIG welder very easily. Should you have to go through the process of grinding? No, but look, with a lot of these Harbor Freight tools, I mean, some of the modifications or the shop hacks or whatever you want to call them are not that hard to do. And then you have a great working set of Mig Pliers. For me, they work perfectly fine, just the way I get them from the store. Like I said, no problem buying these again. I think that they're damn good quality Mig Pliers. My other thought on this whole thing is if you do any kind of welding at all, especially with MIG welding, you need a pair. You want to buy the more expensive pair, go ahead. You want to save some money for buying other tools, buy these. They are a damn good pair. So we all, you know, we all take cracks and jokes and whatever about Harbor Freight, but Harbor Freight sells some really good quality tools. Not everything is inferior. These are a superior, good tool. I mean, they really are. You should, next time you're out there, you walk over and pick them up yourself and play around with them, and you get a feel for them, and then see if I'm right, you know. And then, like I said, with that coupon, you will not beat the price that you can get these for. Right, let's switch inside. I will do a fast round of questions and answers about these because I've got easily 2-3 years of experience using these, and I haven't ruined them yet. So I'm sure eventually I will, or something will happen, but like I said, I'll buy them again. All right, I'll see you inside in just a sec. Okay, folks, so let's do some questions and answers on this Burger 8-inch MIG Welding Pliers. First thing, let's take a look at the customer reviews. Okay, so it's got 5-star, 4-star, 3-star. So let's take a look here. You got huge percentages on price, quality, great value, easy to use. They all score, I mean, fairly damn well with a 95% overall rating. You know, I would agree with that. I mean, for me, it's a much higher percentage in rating. I mean, the first thing was that led me to getting these was the cost. I mean, with the discount coupon, I think I got them for right around $10. And then the second thing is picking them up while I was out at the store. I felt that the quality was there. I mean, and so I went ahead and took a chance, and I bought them because I didn't want to pay, like I told you, 2 or 3 times more. So that was my rationale for buying them. One of the complaints that is in, the reviews on this, which I think is really kind of silly, but it's okay, is that on the pair of pliers that they had, the rubber grip part of it kind of started to slip off, like it wouldn't hold to the metal. I mean, it was underneath of it. Okay, while you're out there, pick up one of those little dollar, square tube things of, of epoxy or something, come home, mix a little bit up, put a few drops in there, slide that rubber back on there and position it how you want and leave it alone for a while. And then there you go. I'm back to the same point. Should you have to do that? No, but it's a quick, easy modification. And then you really have nothing to complain about. I mean, I would not have even, made that criticism because it's such an easy fix. Somebody else said, criticism, they got trouble, even though it's spring loaded, it keeps wanting to stick. Okay, it'll loosen up over time, but if you want to loosen it up a little bit faster, it didn't stick, but it seemed like, there was a little bit of resistance. I just took a glove that I had and I took some Johnson's paste wax. At first I shot it, of course, with PB Blaster in case there was anything in the manufacturing process that was still left in there that maybe helped blow it out. Then I opened and closed them a whole bunch of times, and then with the glove I pushed a little bit of Johnson's paste wax in it, in the round part, where, they actually expand and contract. I mean, this thing loosens up a second, it springs back. Now, I haven't done that in a long time, as you saw in the previous video, because they're over 2 years old and they still work fine. Now, remember, this is intermittent use. You're not going to use these, you're probably not going to use these continuously. They're probably only going to be used when you're doing welding and welding projects. And they work great. And so one of the complaints is like, well, there's no instructions that come with it that tell you what all of the different holes and the cutters and all these other things are for, or it can do. Okay, here's a surprise for you. That's what Rewind's for. Rewind and go back to the video, the portion of this when I was out in the shop, and I explained to you what each one of those things was for. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, for $10, some of the criticisms, I shake my head over because these are easy to find answers. That's what I did when I first got them, and I was wondering about a couple of things, a little bit of research, boom, I knew it. Now I'm passing it on to you, and I did it in the video. So I don't think that you should give it like 2-star rating and something like that just because you don't understand in enough detail, how a simple tool like this works. If you're unsure, like I said, just do a little bit of research. Okay, no further questions. I'm the home handyman. I hope you click subscribe. I hope you hit that notification bell. And I'm going to see you on the next video. Good value. Buy yourself a pair when you're out there. I'm serious. You will not beat it. You will save money. Thanks, folks. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.